I am Kesten Rono, and you're here again for day 51 of our exploration of A Course in Miracles. Today we will be restarting the principles back at number 1, as there are only 50 principles. So if you've been following us thus far, hopefully this is an enjoyable review as we take the ideas that we've been trying to assimilate, that we've been trying on, and reapply them back to what I imagine are the basics. So we'll again go one day at a time, one principle at a time, and continue on with the lessons, beginning with lesson 51. But first, principles of miracles. Principle number 1. There is no order of difficulty in miracles. One is not harder or bigger than another. They are all the same. All expressions of love are maximal. There is no order of difficulty in miracles. I think it speaks for itself, although it may not feel as intuitive when we apply ourselves to the world we see around us, that something might be easier, we assume, than something else to be accomplished, even if both are miracles. What that would mean is that we have some inexplicable change according to the viewpoint of our current system. And perhaps we can justify, oh, that small thing, yeah, that's a miracle, but it's a small one. And we can pass off the idea that a miracle has just occurred, or that this could be our catalyst to wonder how something like this could happen. That we're having some kind of black swan get our attention, yet we do not really try to bend our minds to meet the miracle such that it is for what it has revealed. And if we see something like someone's cancer suddenly reversed, we just pass it off as a miracle. In some of these cases, some of these people have changed something very fundamentally about them. Some of these people have admitted to moving closer to an idea of love. What is it about a miracle that provides these healing properties? And will we allow ourselves to recognize any miracle is something worth considering, that it is pointing out a new way of seeing what we imagine is the impossible, bringing it into reality, true reality. A miracle is not harder or bigger than another. They are all the same. All expressions of love are maximal. I think that was a key sentence on day 1. We talked about difficulty and the sameness of miracles. But then this line, all expressions of love are maximal, our first indication of love being part of what a miracle is. And that a miracle is somehow an expression of love. I don't think that's what we would automatically assume a miracle is from the outside perspective. Curing cancer is a miracle, let's say, for somebody, where they have definite cancer with a downward trajectory. That's their prognosis. And then a test sometime later shows it completely gone. I do not believe that logically most people would jump to the conclusion that that has been an expression of love. But that's what this text is trying to tell us on day 1, that the process of a miracle, our noticing it, is our noticing of an expression of love. And I think that's at least worth considering when we find something that appears to be miraculous, or a story about a miracle that did in fact happen, as we expect things to happen in time and space. That somehow there is something else going on here. And here we have principle 1 is already asking us, possibly subliminally, if we're not putting the ideas together or reading between them, but it's asking us to consider that love and expressing love is the process of miracles. And if we reverse this, that, oh, a miracle must have been an expression of love, we can reverse the idea to say That what if I learned how to feel and express more love? Would I not be engaging, therefore, in the process of miracles? Or at least be closer, at least to understanding? May we feel love and express it in all situations, and may we understand that these expressions of love are miracles in action, regardless of how big the change is. All right, lesson 51 appears to be review. Perfect. Yesterday, we used a powerful statement. I am sustained by the love of God. Let no idle and foolish thoughts enter to disturb the holy mind of the Son of God. Such is the kingdom of heaven. Such is the resting place where your Father has placed you forever. A big, such that anything can be big, idea. Did you repeat that you are sustained by the love of God? Did you dare pronounce it out loud and see how it fit? I did. It does feel healing to look around and realize that the clothes that we're wearing are temporary. The house that we're in is temporary. Our bodies are temporary. I do think that each can be honored and appreciated, but they are temporary. And so to put our faith in any kind of idol at all is creating something about our attachment to our body identification. I did feel that. And it is an experience to exclaim to a friend, I am sustained by the love of God, even if it doesn't fit. Perhaps you sound as illogical and radical as me amongst people who have not heard of such an idea. I certainly did not always talk like this. And yet I am grateful to try these ideas on. And the more that I do, the more I find people's curiosity floating in my direction. That there is something about these words that, when expressed, perk some people's ears up and open the door to them having a curiosity about another way of looking at something. So perhaps you feel emboldened to try this on too. We are only trying it on. And again, what could be so harmful about seeing life through a lens of love? Lesson 51. The review for today covers the following ideas. I'm just going to read this. Number 1, nothing I see means anything. Nothing I see means anything. The reason this is so is that I see nothing, and nothing has no meaning. The reason this is so is that I see nothing, and nothing has no meaning. Nothing, by the definition, means no meaning, no thing, nothing. Nothing has no meaning. I see nothing. It is necessary that I recognize this, that I may learn to see. What I think I see now is taking the place of vision. I must let it go by realizing it has no meaning, so that vision may take its place. I think for these review, we'll simply repeat these paragraphs twice, or repeat it once, read it twice. Please allow these ideas to settle in you. Nothing I see means anything. The reason this is so is that I see nothing, and nothing has no meaning. It is necessary that I recognize this, that I may learn to see. What I think I see now is taking the place of vision. I must let it go by realizing it has no meaning, so that vision may take its place. We have been image making according to this text, and so we admit that nothing I see means anything. And this is important if we are to notice true vision. We have been blocking our own sight, and we accept an idea of true vision, which appears to be something akin to recognizing illusions for illusions and truth for the truth, assuming the perspective of the truth, which allows us to see right through illusion. Number 2, I have given what I see all the meaning it has for me. I have given what I see all the meaning it has for me. I have judged everything I look upon, and it is this and only this I see. We are seeing our judgments. This is not vision. It is merely an illusion of reality, because my judgments have made me quite apart from reality. I am willing to recognize the lack of validity in my judgments, because I want to see. Let's repeat that. I want to see. My judgments have hurt me, and I do not want to see according to them. That if we are living in our judgments, we are bound to those illusions. We are bound to a cycle of hurt and attack, and we will create more hurt and attack if this is what we invest our life savings in. If we believe our value is in our judgments, then we will live in a world of judgment. I have given what I see all the meaning it has for me. I have judged everything I look upon, and it is this and only this I see. This is not vision. It is merely an illusion of reality, because my judgments have been made quite apart from reality. So somehow the shape that we are giving things without total knowledge is separating us from reality. I am willing to recognize the lack of validity in my judgments. They are not real, because I want to see. My judgments have hurt me, and I do not want to see according to them. We want to see according to light, according to love. We want to see the truth, not what we have been trying to shape into the truth, fumbling in the darkness. Number 3, I do not understand anything I see. I do not understand anything I see. How could I understand what I see when I have judged it amiss? So, if we have been misjudging what we see because we do not understand the basis of true reality and true vision, how could we possibly truly understand anything that we see? What I see is the projection of my own errors of thought. I do not understand what I see because it is not understandable. There is no sense in trying to understand it, but there is every reason to let it go and make room for what can be seen and understood and loved. I can exchange what I see now for this merely by being willing to do so. Is this not a better choice than one I made before? Is this not a better choice than the one I made before? We have reason to let go of our misunderstandings if we can imagine that what we have been attempting to understand is truly not understandable. Again, if we are evaluating an illusion, there is nothing there to understand at all, that it is separate from the truth. And this keeps us separate from God, one of the separate ones, this book called. But we can trade this idea out just by being willing to do so, that this is our will. As a son of God, this is your will. It's your opportunity here, having lived in illusions, to be able to wake up from them or to them and remember some other idea that could exist that may be better, so far as we see it, to see life. Wouldn't it be better if we felt innately in our heart that what we are noticing is the truth, and that the truth presented us with a world of love and peace, not one of danger, deprivation, manipulation, coercion, and lies. I do not understand anything I see. How could I understand what I see when I have judged it amiss? What I see is the projection of my own errors of thought. Projection of errors of thought. Remember, miracles are thoughts. Thoughts are miracles. And there are no neutral things because there are no neutral thoughts. We have been charging the things around us with the meaning that we perceive them to have based off our experiences or what we have been told. And that's okay. That's okay. It is okay to recognize our errors, especially errors of thoughts. And perhaps then we can understand that we have been misassigning the value, the purpose of everything that we see around us if we have been thinking out of alignment with truth. What I see is the projection of my own errors of thought. That may sound like a complex idea. Again, how are we supposed to feel as humans that the things around us, this floor I'm sitting on, is not real? Let's just allow it to be. What I see is the projection of my own errors of thought as we move forward. I do not understand what I see because it is not understandable. There is no sense in trying to understand it. It is senseless to understand something that is meaningless. Why spend any time and energy on something meaningless, especially if we can see it for what it is? But there is every reason to let it go and make room for what we can see and understand and loved, can be seen and understood and loved. Let it go. We remember the process to notice how we have been feeling, our upsets, and the way we have been judging the world. To let it go through the process of whole forgiveness and allow ourselves to notice whatever it is that shows up thereafter, the unconditional plane upon which all things are built and of which you are. Perfect peace, love, a son of God, unconditional love, wholly unchanged, simply existing in wait for us to wake up to a reverberation of truth. And when in alignment with this idea, everything else that we could see that we have been building in illusion simply becomes truly meaningless. I can exchange what I see now for this merely by being willing to do so. We must have conviction, we are reminded. It is our will, we have a will. And our will is to see truly. Is not this a better choice than the one I made before? Number 4, these thoughts do not mean anything. These thoughts do not mean anything. The thoughts of which I am aware do not mean anything because I am trying to think without God. We are reminded that somehow our mind and God's mind are connected. Even if we see ourselves as a body, we can imagine that we have a mind. And where are the thoughts that are in our imagination? I don't know. But apparently every thought possibly could be coming from some source and existing in some source eternally. That our thoughts are God's thoughts, and God's thoughts are our thoughts. And I postulate that the image of God in which we are made is simply the spiritual idea of our mind that we have access to in this body. That this mind is the Son of God, non-physical, existing in perfect peace and safety, absolutely holy, as it is the Son of the mind of God, that they are one and the same, connected. And we are here to express and imagine and see and perceive where God exists as true knowledge to which we are connected. These thoughts of which I am aware do not mean anything because I am trying to think without God, which would be impossible. What I call my thoughts are not my real thoughts. My real thoughts are the thoughts I think with God. I am not aware of them because I have made my thoughts to take their place, building in darkness. I am willing to recognize that my thoughts do not mean anything and to let them go. I choose to have them be replaced by what they were intended to replace. My thoughts are meaningless, but all creation lies in the thoughts I think with God. That what God creates is meaningful by design. And if it is meaningful, then it has true purpose. In order for us to see this purpose of anything and everything around us, including ourselves, we must be able to see truly, to consider these ideas in alignment with the mind of God. Otherwise, we are thinking alone again, in the dark, scrambling for some kind of control, scared of the unknown, aligning ourselves with the ego and its inevitable death, and therefore falling victim to the idea of fear. And yet, we are our own victim. Until we can see that we are creating everything around us, we cannot fathom a world where we are not being done unto. But in reality, this book suggests we are creators. And if we are creators, then we are imbued with responsibility and opportunity to wake up to the reality that we have made ourselves victims. And if we have done that, we may forgive ourselves. And if we forgive ourselves, we become full with a new idea and curiosity of vision, which may then allow us to see life differently as creators who are able to build in perfection and harmony with God. These thoughts do not mean anything. The thoughts of which I am aware do not mean anything because I am trying to think without God. What I call my thoughts are not my real thoughts. My real thoughts are the thoughts I think with God. My real thoughts are the thoughts I think with God. My real thoughts are the thoughts I think with God. I am sustained by the love of God. I am not aware of them, my real thoughts, because I have made my thoughts to take their place. Again, we are reminded that we cannot create light, that we are full of light, formless and limitless, but we can create darkness and attempt to build with it. But again, this would only drive us deeper into the illusion that no miracle is harder or bigger than another, means that this is our perception as if we are moving further down a path away from the unconditional love, but from its lens, it is simply always right here. This is our illusion. I have made my thoughts to take their place, these being our real thoughts in alignment with God. I am willing to recognize that my thoughts do not mean anything and to let them go. I choose to have them be replaced by what they were intended to replace. I choose to have my thoughts be replaced by what they were intended to replace. My thoughts are meaningless, but all creation lies in the thoughts I think with God. Ultimately, our ability to see that our thoughts are God's thoughts and God's thoughts are our thoughts, that they exist eternally in the source of where our imagination lies, connected to God, that there is an idea of a foundational set of thoughts that would prove to us our earliest communications with God before we started thinking so far down our own rabbit hole, convinced that we know best. My thoughts are meaningless, but all creation lies in the thoughts I think with God. Finally, number 5. I am never upset for the reason I think. I am never upset for the reason I think. I am never upset for the reason I think because I am constantly trying to justify my thoughts. I am constantly trying to make them true. If we are spending time and energy trying to make them true, such an idea feels depleting. It makes us feel vulnerable, such that anything can make us feel anything. But it does appear to threaten our invulnerability as we give our energy away towards an idea that is meaningless. I make all things my enemies, so that my anger is justified and my attacks are warranted. I have not realized how much I have misused everything I see by assigning this role to it. I have done this to defend a thought system that has hurt me and that I no longer want. I am willing to let it go. There are some direct ideas here. An understanding that if we believe we are under attack, then we are justified. That the idea of justice and our justification for attacking back feels correct because we are under threat. But what if these are our own ideas? What if, I understand that can be challenging to reconcile given the outlook of what could be found in the news. But perhaps we can realize that we are part of the humanity that is creating these ideas, at least. And maybe from there, we can get closer to the idea that we are creating these thoughts of attack and the justification we imagine to fight back rather than to love through. I am never upset for the reason I think. I am never upset for the reason I think because I am constantly trying to justify my thoughts. I am constantly trying to make them true. I make all things my enemies so that my anger is justified and my attacks are warranted. If we believe we are under attack, may we notice that everyone around us we imagine is our enemy. We do not know our neighbor, certainly not one who is far away. And we can easily be manipulated into an idea that they are the problem. But may we offer forgiveness to ourselves and to those thoughts. I am never upset for the reason I think. I am never upset for the reason I think because I am constantly trying to justify my thoughts. I am constantly trying to make them true. I make all things my enemies so that my anger is justified and my attacks are warranted. Good boy. Good boy. Thank you for your protection. I have not realized how much I have misused everything I see by assigning this role to it. Misusing everything around us by presuming it is out to get me. I have done this to defend a thought system that has hurt me and I no longer want. The way we have been thinking is hurting us, creating lack and pain, fear, and asking us to use the same tools, lack, fear, and pain, to fight back, that this would be justified, an eye for an eye. I am willing to let it go. Please, in review, repeat these ideas after me. Nothing I see means anything. I have given what I see all the meaning it has for me. I do not understand anything I see. These thoughts do not mean anything. I am never upset for the reason I think. I am Kesten Rono, and I am sustained by the love of God. Thank you for your time and review. We will continue tomorrow on day 52. Please be well in love.